last left off, our heroes found themselves in an intrepid and insidious strange mystery known only as shutters. What is this shutter space? Our heroes wonder. And not more does the question come to their mind than enters in one Avalian alchemist, a figure of long-standing repute, but with a face that doesn't match the age of her reputation. She offers a sense of comfortable sensibility to this strangeness, as she provides you with a single shot and a clasped leather case wherein one syringe provides the cure to sanity. For death in shutter space is not permanent, but psychologically jarring. If any of you are to fall, she recommended that using this would be able to stave off such psychological side effects. And the final warning that this place was no mere dream, and that your actions would have long-standing consequences as you were here as visitors. She recommended that you conduct yourselves accordingly, and then left you to your own devices, deciding that staying in place for too long might allow it, the strange, insidious, side effect monster enigma of this shutter space that hunts down those that it makes very clear do not belong here. Whether through the text you read on newspapers in this 1983 winter on the streets you walk outside, or in the muttered conversation of a few bystanders talking to a Yelamite officer-garbed policeman, you do not belong here. You do not belong here. Or even in the jingle of songs coming in on the radio, buzzing behind these headphones, like padded metallic earmuffs clasped over the heads of half of the people that walk by you, buzzing with the sounds of radio conversation that belies that this is not the same universe you left. Subtle little differences. And at the same time, foreboding predictions of what might be in store for your own world. Yalamite garbed police officers. The strangeness of your motley crew forces you to not wish to have to explain your presence to the people that in your universe are the enemy. And instead, you split up into 3 groups and enter into what seems to be a public temple or bazaar. If it is a temple, it's one to a god of commerce, no less. As the people here spend money in absurd quantities. Silver pieces that could have sustained families for a month being spent on but a meal. But to adventurers like yourselves, this is not bad money. And you've got plenty to spare, and you wish to pass yourselves off as looking normal. Thankfully, gold is still stamped the same. Zarman and Kak and Libby and Willem decide to set up into the food court, a circular room of long tables and food stands nestled into these nooks in the walls. Uh, there seems to be commercialized versions of far-off foods, all neatly packed around in this area. People are buzzed with conversation. Cat gets himself some free samples from every single one of the places, and it is good. Willem decides, of course, that he's going to start with dessert and goes right towards the Frostwarn themed dessert place. A Horde of Delight, it's called, with this giantess behind it and this classic kind of barbarian garb of white wool and, horned hat, closing up these heaping servings of dessert that he brings back to the group. Whereas Hanu and Thea and Babette and Eliza head off to the record store, seeking a couple of albums from perhaps Thea's mom, as well as noting that there's music from the Advocates here. Zale's the band whose Zale's most recently made wife is the front woman of. As you all split to listen to these various soundtracks through headphones that are put on these, plastered mounts on the wall that allow you to be able to listen to the music, Zale and Arthur and Piranha and Sunera all make their way to loading, archives, etc. A bookstore of sorts, though it quickly becomes apparent that nothing here is going to be magical. It is an expansive store, warehouse-sized. And amongst its many bookshelves, they split up to search for separate topics. So Zale, so engrossed in his own search, doesn't realize they've split up until it's already happened. And as he goes to seek his allies, and the words on each of the spines of the books he passes change to remind him, you do not belong here. Do not belong here. Willem gets a brain freeze. Oh, might have been drinking that a tad bit too quickly. Looks over and as well, he goes, "Oh, could keep eating this through a mouthful of it so that you can hardly even hear what he's saying, and doesn't seem to be getting a brain freeze from it at all. But as you guys eat this, you start to feel
Zarman being more attentive, looking for that one thing, which I believe he said Zarman figured out how to make.
yes to the sushi place. As you guys were sitting there for a little while, about 10 minutes or so, you managed to gain a pretty good look at how he was making it. And did you eat ice cream?
Zarman would have been more focused on looking at the sushi place than eating. If he was past dinner, he would just be like super slow while more looking at the sushi place.
Yeah. I mean, he brought a bunch of bowls, one for everybody with spoons and stuff in it. It's a big self-serve thing on it and stuff. On you if you would have eaten any.
Yeah, Zarman would have ate a little bit while looking at sushi. It would have been like one scoop or whatever.
Did. Perfect. You takes for a while, and you're kind of barely even nursing it. And your spoon in particular starts to feel unnaturally cold in your hand as you're watching him. And you don't notice it at first, but it's starting to grow, almost like the soft little mist coming off of it. But the reason it doesn't quite pay attention, perhaps it's your resistance to cold, and it not even quite registering that you're even feeling it. But your attention on the East Palace and the Tabaxi chef behind it. You did a perception check on the last time on this, right? Do you remember what that was?
I don't remember the exact check, but I remember he said it was enough to do it or learn the thing.
Be able to notice this thing over the 10 minutes.
It was a 10.
Yes. Oh, yes. Okay, that was right. Perfect. So over the time, you're slowly nursing on this, and that spoon that you're not even eating out of this bowl with, growing a bit chillier in your hand. That Tabaxi chef, something's a little off about it. It's hard to notice at first, but you pick it up as you're watching it. First, you thought he was just a fantastic hibachi chef. I mean, the way that he's tossing things together behind that counter is just superb. Clear talent. Why you wanted to watch in the first place. But it's more than just talent. Even with talent, you wouldn't be able to toss it the way that he's tossing it from certain places, right? Things seem to be coming out of nowhere. And it takes you a moment, and you finally, as one of the people moves out of the way with it, you notice that slight little tentacle tosses up one of these sushi things. And it's just a little bit of seaweed wrap that just gets kind of unfurled across it by a slight little bit of a tentacle, and you're like, no, and you watch for a little bit longer, and that spoon is getting chillier, much chillier. I mean, and it's not just your spoon, however. I mean, you are getting cold, and you look over and you see that Cat, who's still eating this, he hasn't stopped, but he's also kind of shaking a little bit, and you see, it's like, oh, that brain freeze. I feel like couldn't even hit anybody else.
I think we should move.
Maybe it's like, do that.
You mentioned something about Levine, then it cut off.
I need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
Oh.
20 bad.
Yeah, you're fine.
What did
Yeah,
Libby say?
Yeah, you cut out if Libby said something, unless you cut yourself.
Oh, she's still eating it. I mean, she seems to be in the same boat of being chilly on it, but Libby, for the most part, waits for other people's statements on things. She, not going to be mostly obtrusive on that. So, the extremely cold temperature that you feel like you're in right now is as if you're standing on the top of the coldest mountain in the Baltaine. And you've managed to stave off getting exhaustion from it. You feel like you're exposed out in the cold right now, and as like this rush of cold comes over you, you a plus 5 halved to be half
Two.
down, so you take 2 points of damage. For all intents and purposes, cold damage, which comes off as very strange to you. But you are freezing here, and I need to roll for Jack.
Don't forget to add +3 to all their saves, because they're near me.
Mm-hmm.
Jack would have 13.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yep.
well. The two bards.
I don't expect them to do too well, personally. They might do better in CAC, because CAC rolled fairly low there.
Yeah, he rolled real low.
And then
Oh,
That's not bad. That's the wrong person.
Babette, what are you doing?
3, that's a 9. Oh yeah, that's Babette. Damn it. Ah, god darn it.
I literally, even if it's not me rolling, can't roll a fucking con save.
I wasn't gonna say anything, but yeah.
Liv
Oh.
got a 20.
Like, what the fuck?
what's a different character than Babette? He rolled a natural 20.
Why?
Will
Damn, that is harsh.
A con save is literally going to be the death of Babette.
Yeah.
24. So everybody except CAC rolled above 20.
Ouch.
Alright.
The guy with proficiency in
You're all fine. And it's just a DC 10, so you're all good. I mean, it's literally like you're out in the middle of extreme cold weather, and you don't seem to be protected from it the way you feel like you should be from this. It's freezing, and looking around, all you suddenly want is a source of heat or source of warming yourself. And you did see a big coat store or a big like shopping store. It was in Kohl's. Had like a bunch of coats and stuff that you noticed in the windows when you were going by. That's a little bit somewhere else, but looking around, like you feel like that's like having to walk through like a whole valley to get to something right now, and it feels like a rough idea. I need you to make me a wisdom saving throw.
14.
Plus 13. Or plus 3.
My rolls auto add it.
You don't get that yet. Yeah, that's oh, perfect. Beautiful. So in that case, give me a second. I'm gonna roll for CAC.
CAC got 10.
Okay. That's good.
Libby got a 17.
Alright. That's good. And then
Willow. 15. So it's Cacton's armor.
shy.
Then, yep.
Alright, so Libby is the only one fine in this then.
Why is
Comes out with a 17, right? Yeah.
It like you never roll well on them, even though you have a plus what
8.
8 on it. Oh god.
Alright.
I mean, it should
Then
average
I need
18,
you to
but
roll
yeah.
me. I need you to roll me a percentile die. So
Oh,
94.
that's high.
okay, you're probably good then. Probably. We'll see. I don't remember what your thing is. I'm looking at your note here. Give me a second. Ooh. No.
I don't like it when DMs make that noise.
Alright, okay, cool. Noted. 1 point. Just to be noted, you've gained 1 point of terror. As to what that is, part of the terrorizing part of it. Don't quite know yet. You feel immediately this overwhelming need for something hot, something to heat you up. And you look around, and all you can hear is the crackling of something like a fire. It's not a fire, but you're rushing towards it anyways, because the only thing that you can hear is a fryer will to hear. Behind the counter, there's this teenage boy that like tries to tell you, "You're not allowed behind the counter, mister." And I need you to go ahead and give me an athletics check.
9.
Oh wow, man! I wonder if this guy's gonna be able to stop you at the counter. That'd be so funny. All right, perfect.
Time to roll low.
Oh my God. Okay. Well, mister, you're not allowed behind the counter, and slips on the fucking puddle of grease on the floor, and you just walk right past him and immediately plunge your hand right into this fryer. And
That sounds like an awful idea. Holy
you see
shit.
that, you're going to take 1 point of fire damage, and at the same time, Ack and Willem are doing the same thing. The guy slipped, so he's prone at the moment. He's not stopping anybody. And where did Cack's thing go? Close. Libby is not even the strongest person, so she's gonna have trouble pulling anybody off of that.
I mean, Libby rolled
alright.
high, so I don't think I think she'd know that putting her hand in a deep fryer is a bad idea.
No, I think
Yeah.
pulling you guys away from there.
Pulling you guys away
Yeah.
from it.
Away from
is
it,
the
yeah.
thing. Because you guys are gonna get a chance. So essentially, now that each of your hands are inside of this, you need to make a wisdom saving throw every turn. All right. And that's going to give you an opportunity to be able to break out of this, right? Because you're taking damage. No, they're just taking damage, so it's what's prompting it. If they weren't taking damage, it wouldn't prompt it. Every time you hit, it is antipathy/sympathy. You are currently under sympathy to stick your hand inside of that heat. It is a pretty powerful version of it, but it works exactly the same. Somebody could actually dispel magic on you and get rid of the effect. It's one way of getting rid of it. The other one is for you to win on the DC for it. You can win on the DC that you'll make once each turn, right? Or somebody can give you another opportunity to do it if they away from the fryer, right? That pulls you outside of the range of the spell effect, and when you're outside of the range of it, you get to make the saving throw, all right? But they'll have to grapple you to pull you away from it, all right? They could also just damage you again, all right? Like just slap you upside the back of the head and do a little bit of damage, and that would make it to where you take another wisdom saving throw. So, because she's not very strong, she's probably just going to punch one of you in the back of the head. That's a very Libby thing to do, honestly. So, okay, I got Cac there. Libby here. I need to notate damage on them real quick.
Just have her do a backhand. Just pa!
Wake up. Yeah, it's Cac, Willem, and Darman right now who are another one. Ooh. Oh, poor Willem. Ooh. Ooh. That's a second-degree burn right there.
Alright. Cac no longer has 69 hit points. He instead has 68. Not nice.
Not nice.
Not nice.
Alright. So, it is now coming up to her. She's going to look at each three of you. I'm going to get an opportunity to do this on one of you guys. So, I'm going to have her take an attack roll against, I think she would hit Zarman.
I mean,
and
realistically,
what's
if
your AC?
she had a reason to punch Willem upside the head, this is a great opportunity for it.
She'll take the opportunity to do it after she gets the person that probably knows how to handle
Gets the
keep
responsible
stuff
one out.
Yeah,
away.
the strong one.
Exactly. Then she'll hit on. Alright. Attack roll is just with her strength. Her strength is a +1. Actually, is there an unarmed button in here?
Nah, you just have to roll
I'm
it.
all guessing we don't have armor on.
Yeah.
Alright.
Zarman doesn't have armor.
No, you don't have your.
Yeah.
No, I mean, it's very easy for
Oh.
even with no bonus. It's very easy to hit Zarman right now.
Yeah,
That hits Zarman.
All right, there we go. And that will do 1 point of damage. So go ahead and give me another Wisdom saving throw.
Better.
There you go. You're out of it. Okay. We're going to come back around to the next turn on this, and I'm going to go ahead and have Cac roll for his.
Poor cat.
Good
Nope.
lord.
And then I'm going to have
13.
Willem roll for his.
That's including the +3.
No, plus they only be a
Yeah,
13.
13. Zarman rolled lower earlier and it failed, so.
Yeah.
Willem's fine, looks like. So
Willem.
there.
All right. What the hell? And
Libby still
okay,
smacks
so
him.
now it's back around. Yeah, smack on the back of the head. And as you see Cap with his arm still in there, Zarman, what are you gonna do?
I don't know if Zarman would know that if he's unable to see it, then he can make the save also, so Zarman's also going to punch Cac. So,
I gotta tell Ace later about this shit. But
All
yeah.
right.
Roll a crit. Roll a crit.
I mean, with an unarmed strike,
It's gonna
everybody's
be a
training
one.
those, right? I want to say
Yeah.
everybody's training them, so.
Yeah. You're
19 to hit
proficient.
Cac.
Close.
Yep, that's it. All right.
Does 4 points because Zarman has some strength.
Oh yeah.
Bam.
All right. So he has 64 hit points. All right.
Go clock.
And
He gets the wisdom
yeah,
save.
this time you hit it, and he gets his wisdom save.
Oh my god.
All right.
Bring him away, guys. Just
And-
take him away.
Libby is gonna hit him in the back of the head as well. Like, what are you doing?
We just start battering the fuck out of each other in this fucking guy's store shop. This is funny.
Has he gotten up yet?
No, the guy is
I
getting
mean,
up
it's
on the
Cac.
stairs.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
everything-
go and get the manager.
Oh my god.
13 to hit cack
That's
should
a
probably
hit.
hit cack.
Yeah. No, he has
And then there is
wisdom
the
saving throw. Oh,
no wrong
the way to
person.
let me.
21.
Wrong person.
Oh, wrong person. No!
Damn it.
But what's his
on.
modifier?
The same.
18 plus. Oh yeah, it's the same. So 18.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you made
Yeah,
it.
that works.
Yeah.
Uh,
Well, it would be
this
21
is
because near his armor.
greasy burnt hand out of that. Oh wait, I have to do
2 damage rolls.
Another point from that, too.
What? 2 ones! So, so 62, he's down to 62 health. Oh.
Alright.
Which, once we have all this sorted out, just have cack start using prestidigitation, get the grease off, and we're just walking out of here.
Yep. You see as a couple of like mall like cops start to like make their way down. They've got like a white version of the outfit that you saw the officers outside going, right? One of them is split off away from the ones that are coming towards you guys. Guys like you're gonna have to stay here and make statements. As Willem was like, we should definitely not stay here and make statements.
It's time to go.
Off. All right, you guys like give like a quick little jog away from it, and as you do, as you're like running past, you see like all the people that were looking at you. Suddenly, they're like you realize that they're like wasn't just like the people chatting, talking, looking at each other, looking at you. It's now suddenly turned into everybody is only looking at you.
Oh.
As you run past them, many of their heads rotate behind them
Oh.
as you go.
I don't
And
like it.
it builds up, and you're like, okay, it's not real, it's not real. And you feel that sudden pressure, like something is there looking at you. Moon is like, is that the sort of thing that we're supposed to close our eyes for?
Yes. And, close your eyes. And then Zarman will use calm emotions on us. You can
Any
choose to fail the
flips
save, and
here,
then
good
we just suppress strong emotions.
Perfect. Awesome. Beautiful. You feel this carbon kind of wash come over you as the radio kind of suddenly builds up on the background, and you can hear over the speakers this radio announcer say something along the lines of we need officers to the food court. Officers to the food court.
Yep, time to go.
Her feet kind of rolled into this cadence of footsteps slapping across marble or linoleum. Music kicks up. While meanwhile, Hanu and Tia look at each other and both kind of put headphones on over their ears. He kind of like pulls one off from one of her ears and goes, "Oh, and don't forget, Hanu, you don't belong here." Gives a peace sign, winks, and puts the headphone back on over it. As you hear the sound of Borelli Liquor's greatest hits start to play. It's a song of roses, and it's just finishing out and stuff. And you actually heard this not that long ago, and it's one of her most popular songs. And V goes, "Oh, this is the one I think you'd really like." And the next song that plays up is displayed on this little screen, bleeping text on a blue background. It says, Aurelia liqueur, beneath the birch.
Mm-hmm.
The lyrics seem to be something about like a princess locked away in a tower or something, right? It sounds like a typical fairy tale kind of story, right? It's a very narrative kind of sounding one, and keeps coming back talking about beneath the birch, rock beneath the birch, and as you're kind of listening to that, she's really into this, you know. She's really liking being able to hear her mom's voice over these headphones, which are not a thing where you guys are from. It's something about hearing it just on either side of your ears like that just makes it seem more personal. For a little bit there, the pressure of that ominous feeling that had scraped at your senses when she'd said that put a brief little quickening to your pulse is gone. This is her. What you'd heard must have been a slip of the mind, some slight illusion. Sounded like her. Wasn't her, but this, without a doubt.
She's just gonna close her eyes and enjoy listening to the song. For a moment, just thinking, it's her own mother singing to her too.
Tap your feet to a little bit. You can see she's kind of swaying. Across the way, you can see the other side of that counter of the shaggy-haired team, his own headphones on, tucked away a little bit of a corner of the stores, Eliza and Babette, where the two of you are listening to an album from Wisteria Wield and the Advocates. Last album called A Crumbled Crown. And the song you're listening to is called a Sinner or Saint. And it's displayed on that little digital screen with its blue background and blinking blue text. Stereo Wield and the Advocates. Sinner or Saint. Their album A Crumbled Crown. All of a sudden you hear this voice kind of come from next to you. Someone goes, "Oh yeah, that's a classic. Stereo Wield and the Advocates. I thought I recognized that, Bob. If you like that kind of old school stuff, then like you must be a big fan of like, you know, Susie and those banshees of hers."
Is that something that we have heard of from our time?
No, it's not.
Yeah, okay.
Eliza.
It's like they're probably like, 17, maybe like late teens, early 20s, hard to tell, half elf, like got a shaved head and a leather jacket and these, ripped up jeans with a spiked belt and this white crew tank underneath it.
Punk
They've got
vibes.
yeah, kind of punk vibes for sure.
My taste is a little bit
The
eclectic.
cigarette kind of dangling from her lip.
Unfortunately, I haven't heard of them.
Oh, well, you should give them a listen here. And if you're lucky, maybe you could get in on La Palace downtown. They've got a show going on tonight. You aren't doing anything.
Is he trying to ask me out on a date?
Eliza's
She-
very,
she-
very
She
disgusting.
seems to be asking you
Oh.
both possibly on a date.
both.
You get, yeah, you're not quite certain. There's a sense of like forwardness about their approach on it that you're a little, no, not certain of, but possible.
And what was Eliza doing?
Well, as soon as he got like flirty vibes, I was like crossing my arms and getting really close to you and like being like, I don't know, like power posing a little bit.
She's flexing.
Yes, but she'd probably just look at you and gauge like your reaction and see if it seems like something you're interested in, because she's kind of like probably not exactly wanting to go to a show with a bunch of teenagers, but
Yeah. The vibe you're getting from the vibe that you're getting from Babette is I am humoring this person. I don't want to die at a concert. I don't want to die anywhere. Let's just keep moving.
Okay, then Eliza's gonna just look at him and be like, "Thanks. Maybe you'll go, maybe not. Have a good life." And just like drag your drag you away.
Have a good life. Damn.
Oh, that's cold. I love it.
Oof. Oh.
You never
Oh,
were
poor
one for subtlety when it came to conversations, were you?
Well, I don't think it really matters in the grand scheme of things.
Poor
Fair.
kid.
We should probably find Hanu and Fee.
Yes.
Poor kid. Oh.
They're over there. Listen to some music at the moment. You can see them on the other side of the store, and as you're kind of making your way over to them, this chick, she kind of like walks in front of you guys and pulls and lights like a little flame between her fingers and lights that cigarette in her lips. And
This is the same
guy
person?
behind the counter, you notice, yeah, and she's like, local accents, but I don't think you're locals, are you?
Shit.
You can sound like you fit in pretty good, but then you get all nervous and sketchy and stuff when people start asking too much. And I'm just a little curious, are you guys on the run from the law or something?
She's asking me and Babette that?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's walking in front of
Right,
you,
walking in front of
smoking
you.
a cigarette now.
Is this she's a narc or a that's fucking cool question?
Give me an insight check.
Can you roll one for me?
Yeah.
What's her bonifier? It's like 11, right? Yeah, it's 11.
Got it.
Expertise.
Get her sheet up.
Oh, okay, cheers, good. 15.
What'd I get?
15.
You got a 15. But Babette, you got a 21. Yeah, you get the feeling that they're like on a that they probably don't have a problem with criminal going ons, and they seem to be talking about it at just the right level that somebody wouldn't actually overhear you guys, but just enough to also make you nervous that somebody would overhear you guys. You are feeling that this person is somewhat fucking with you and is probably actually in that world of criminal shit.
Yeah. So then in Thieves' Cant, she would just be like, just going for a stroll.
Eliza would.
Oh, well, if your stroll happens to make you around the palace and stuff, then
I'll keep an
I
eye out
was just
for
gonna
you.
let you get turned away at the gate and stuff because, you know, hyping a place up, I work the door and everything, and it's good to get people turned away because it makes the location look better, right? But honestly, you actually seem like you're pretty cool, so if you do go there, just show this, and they'll let you through. My card, and if I'm there, then I'll just let you through. Keep on strolling.
Of course.
Care.
Maybe I'll see you around. And Babette kind of like, you know, does just like a generic farewell. Doesn't do anything extravagant.
Eliza basically just ignores her.
Does the exact mimicking imitation that is surreally the same finger guns you've seen that you've seen Libby do.
Oh.
What?
And it's like the same, like it's unreal actually, because it's like the same number of them, you know, like the stupid while moving, you know, and every moment you got that was an oddly Libby gesture, and then they walk out into the wall. Big puff of it. There's a big cloud that they leave around for a second, and then they shout out to somebody a little bit further down and off in the opposite direction.
What does the card
And
say?
you can see the card on it doesn't say anything. It's just got a picture of a rose on it, but it's a very nice card. Like you can tell that it's like gilded and embossed. It's like
Shit.
simple, very good material.
What color's the
You don't
rose?
get the feeling that whatever door or club that they're working is probably not a teen place,
Mm-hmm.
despite their initial appearance.
Was that the same
And
place
it's
the
gold.
boy invited us to?
Same person. It wasn't a boy. It was just a chick the entire time.
Oh.
It's sometimes it's hard to tell when the DM is a guy.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So Babette pockets that, and goes and finds Hanu and Fee.
Yeah.
Probably, since she does have her eyes closed and she has done monk training before, she'll, after a certain radius, she'll just feel two people approaching and open one eye and just turn around, look over her shoulder and see you guys. And tilt her head.
Yeah.
Quizzically. Ready to head out?
I think we should keep moving.
Alrighty. Okay.
We've already had one conversation here, and that seems to be enough. No, we seem normal.
Sound good? Okay. She'll properly put the headphones back on and tap Fee.
Okay. She pulls the headphone off. Even already?
Yeah, we probably laid idle a little bit too much for now, so might as well get moving to the next destination.
No worries.
Okay.
I already paid for this, and she takes set and
I mean,
comes to you guys.
I saw people walking with these things on, so there must be a smaller device to play stuff on. Something to look into.
Maybe it's in a different store.
Maybe.
Go look.
I also don't want us to be spending too much money here, because I don't know what's gonna happen if we, like... Yeah, I don't know, that's weird time stuff.
Well, the money seems to be pretty much the same, so there's that.
I mean, it's your funds, but I'm gonna be withholding things just in case. She'll look to everybody in the group.
How many times are we gonna have the opportunity to shop in the future?
Knowing these people, many.
You're honestly speaking to the wrong person. I don't really care about materialistic things. But memories are what is priceless to me, so let's make some memories, guys. Lead the way.
Now you're talking. Alright.
We probably start hearing things on the loudspeakers of the police going like to
Yeah.
record. We're like, opposite way.
Here, as you step out. Officers to the food court. We need officers to the food court.
Okay, so, yeah.
And as you kind of like,
One sec, I'll be right back.
you hear that come over the top of it. Officers to the food court. We need officers to the food court. Do not belong here. Need officers in the food court.
Yeah, let's get some fresh air. And
I'm
you can talk to me about this conversation that you had. Like normal people stuff in the 80s. Let's go. And she just hooks her arms around somebody.
I missed what was said. I'm sorry, I had to unlock a door.
Oh no, it was just officers in the food court. You do not belong here on the loudspeakers. And she's like, okay, let's go outside and have a breather and talk about that conversation you did because that's normal people thing in the 80s. Let's go.
Cool.
Normal people say in the 80s.
I'm like shaking her head, like, yes, let's go. The conversation, we were invited to a show and given a very fancy card.
Oh.
And Babette will pull out the card.
Oh.
Would I, like, discern anything from the card? Like, I don't know, out of some kind of fancy, intelligent rogue shit? Like, would I...
Yeah.
Well,
yeah, and
all you were able to figure out was that it is for a high class club of some sort. But other than that,
it doesn't look like an evolution of any kind of thing that I've seen around.
Thief's wife, no.
Okay.
Wait,
Gotcha.
so you're telling me that there was like a kid that's...
But it has history.
Yeah, I guess...
Actually, you could give me a history check, Babette, and
would it be proficient because it's of alien history?
I think both you and Eliza would be able to see if it's like a name for some family or some shit like that.
Never mind.
If she helps you. I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm not proficient in it.
Yeah, Elijah should roll. She has a plus 5.
Yeah, if someone can roll for me.
14.
14 is better than 9.
Well, I mean, if you were to think of anybody historically who could just be associated by just the rose itself, Goodwin.
Yeah.
Goodwin family, the Coe family, are historically known for the roses. They have rose gardens at pretty much every hospital that they are responsible for, so it's a definite Pridwin thing. And considering you guys know him personally, it would pop into your mind.
Yeah.
Running a nightclub though sounds a little odd, but you know.
And it
who
was
knows?
was
You
it
have
an
a
elf
lot
or a
of
half elf that was talking to us?
the half elf.
Okay.
And was just...
Alexa would tell you guys that. She would turn to you and be like, hey, isn't Pridwin's thing roses?
Yeah, she'll snort at that. Yeah, he does like that. Same with Tirana. Maybe it's her
No,
nightclub.
I'm just trying to picture him at a nightclub.
Well, maybe it's Tirana's nightclub. We don't know at this point.
Pridwin at a nightclub.
Maybe.
It's definitely known for all of his hospitals and stuff. My mom has dealt with a couple of his rose gardens too.
Wait, is it...
Or not my mom, my aunt. That was my mess up.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. Maybe it's like a nightclub but for roses, and he's just allowing people to visit. could be a thing.
Well, we have an inn if we want to go check it out later. Just for some
Wait,
place to be.
what was the band's name?
Some name in the Banshee? Susie? Susan?
Suit? And you're saying that they had like the same music as the Advocates. Banshees Advocates.
Something along the lines. Yeah.
I don't know if you guys are familiar with Miss. Gran used to tell me a few things about Banshees, but they're kind of wild. So having that's a mishmash of like, yeah, that's something to know for later. Where to, guys? We have the whole commerce district to us, so let's speedwalk and give a phone call if we want to. I'm not saying we should, but maybe.
Problem with trying to find anything to do with roses, though, is that it would have things to do with gardens, and gardens would obviously probably end up having things to do with Gonzo. And since we're trying to kind of avoid that stuff, we should probably maybe not go looking there. I don't really know how this stuff works. If we avoid gardens, we think that we won't see. I'm Gonzo!
Oh gosh.
They're
Okay.
from a couple of steps behind you, and you look, and there it is,
She-
standing right.
Yeah, no,
People are-
I am
people are
not looking. I am
passing.
grabbing
Liza-
everyone's hand and fucking running the opposite
Do you
direction.
hear it?
Eliza,
Eyes closed. You go to fucking run.
Yeah, let's
Well,
go.
if everybody else is.
Immediately, you all looked at each other when you heard it, right? And this kind of stiffening happens. You all close your eyes, grab each other's hands, and just go running in the opposite direction that you just heard that voice coming from. Behind you, it just stands there, things milling around it in the crowd, as if it wasn't even there.
Okay, I guidance the person in front of us navigating. I just smack him. I was like, carry us away into the winds.
It was probably just like the arcade that we were close to, but
Radio suddenly kicks up song over the intercoms. In rhythm to it, tapping of Garmin and Cac's feet across the linoleum as they run away from the backwards twisted heads of everybody in the food court. And Zale, time with the tapping of your hand against the bookshelves, each space counting your way back. Just gotta make your way back. That's it. As long as you make it back, you'll be fine. Keep your eyes closed, you'll be fine. And as is each of you running down your separate rows towards the central section of this wall with its gurgling sound of a waterfall in the distance and loud conversation and the same song playing over the top of it. People going, where in the world are they going? God, what weirdos. This generation's going to hell. And, you know, whoa, watch it! And it's like, you know, you bump into somebody and the sound of wheels and a skateboard suddenly clatters across it, and you have to, you know, give apologies as you're going, but you can still feel it. Its presence on the back of your necks. I need Armin, Anu, and Zale. Roll me a d8.
oh my god, are you kidding me?
Zale didn't make it very far away from the archives, so we all just bumped into him.
I don't like this, guys. I don't like this.
Anyways, Armin's bringing the cops.
Oh, the dice always tell an interesting story.
Oh my god!
Oh, wow. Okay. Okay.
Oh my god!
I just called.
Okay. So, Vale, alright. I need you. Where'd we go? Okay. Pull up its. I had to pull up its sheet real quick. I need you to make me a wisdom saving throw.
So wisdom, even though I'm not looking.
Yep.
Okay.
It's still looking at you.
Oh, 6.
Alright. That's perfect. Alright. So, each of you go, and at the same time, you both almost run into each other, right? It's not, Zale, you're still trying to make your way through this place, and you're counting these things, right? And you're counting them, and you're counting them, and you're counting them, and you're counting them, and it doesn't matter. And you're not going anywhere. You've gone way past the amount of these bookshelves that you were supposed to before you would have gotten to that central aisle, right? There should have been a big gap at some point, right? Right in front of the doors. But you're not seeing it, right? Or you're not feeling it, right? It's just an endless row of these bookshelves, 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 bookshelves. And you guys almost, Hanu and Zarman run right into each other, right? And as suddenly this collision nearly happens, you guys open your eyes and you see each other for a brief moment, and you're like, oh wait, we're all right in front of each other. And your eyes turn and you can see as there in front of Archived, beyond its glass doors, Vale goes running right by, holding the hands of, 3 of your allies, and watches each one of them disappears as soon as they enter into that main central section. Her eyes are closed, and he doesn't seem to realize it, but every time he runs right into it, you see it happen immediately. You bump into each other, huh? Wait, what? And then you look to the right, and Zale comes running in as well, or right into view as well, but on the other side of these glass doors, right? And as he enters into the alley, he immediately disappears as he pulls the chain of his friends with him. And you go, that was weird. And Willem's like, strange things are happening, right? It's not just me that's seeing that, right? Hey, Zale! Bye, Zale!
Oh, he's going through a loop.
What I'm talking about!
It's like that one thing in the library. Let's smack him when he comes by and then out of this loop, okay?
As you guys
to smack him.
Just gonna clothesline him if she can.
The doors sit your approach, and they open up of their own accord, either side, and you're like, oh wow, chick for just like a store like this? That's insane. And you walk in as Zale, again, he's just getting ready to enter into it, and you see as he disappeared once more again, and you can once more watch as he's now at the other end. He's several bookshelves down, right? And go ahead and give me perception checks, everybody.
Wasn't
The
Hanu
door
lining up
suddenly
like,
closed
Yeah,
behind
Hanu was
you.
Hanu was prepping to clothesline him.
Can someone?
Yes, I know, but you guys he's still on his way back up for another round.
Yeah,
when you guys enter.
20!
20.
24. Would I get like a +3 because
No.
I'm
That's
near
only for
Zarman?
saving.
It's saving throws.
Yeah, this is reception check. 23 from Hanu. 14 from Zarman.
24, 23. Okay, so we're going into this store now, and there's when you first enter in, it's a like 15-foot wide thoroughfare towards a circular desk in the center. There are these quadrants of bookshelves that expand out into a very massive warehouse of books, right? And in the quadrant to your left, Azale would be entering into that main thoroughfare. Before he even gets into it, he's disappearing. So you have to enter into the bookshelves first, right? You just see him running into view and not making it. He's like running into an invisible wall and disappearing as he ran into it. You guys step into the store, this motley crew of you all, as the doors open of their own accord to invite you in. And he's just come through one of those chains, pulling all of them with him, right? And you can see immediately that several bookshelves down, he's appeared once more, and he's running still in the same direction. He's going to reach you here in just like the matter of a couple of seconds. And as everybody's kind of like looking around, that's a strange one. Did you see some strange things happening? Willem is asking Fee, and you're looking off to the side. You see that both you and Babette notice that both you, Babette, and Eliza notice that the gnome behind the bookshelf looks up, had looked up and looked back down, and it might have looked like he was just noting as you guys entered in, but you noticed that he watched and tracked with his eyes as Zale disappeared.
Oh, motherfucker!
Right? And there's a sudden okay, there's something off about that. And Zale's coming in again, and you go to prep yourself to clothesline him. So go ahead and give me an athletics check.
Okay.
Oh, give me acrobatics at disadvantage.
Okay.
Alright. 9.
I could do guidance on this. I don't know if I have the cooldown for that.
I'm going to say that this took the two of you down with it. Your arm actually got him, but the fact that he was 1 point over on it caused you to stumble into each other, right? So, and suddenly everybody's behind, and you see as they all kind of pile onto each other and collapse right on top of Manu into the middle of this thing. And the librarian looks up from their desk, and you all suddenly hear as a book, oof, it's the end of it, and this loud cuts through. I need everybody to give me wisdom saving.
Oh fuck!
Oh no!
At least we're now close to Darwin now.
Is this still considered a fear effect or a charm effect? And it has a minute passed because Sarman was concentrating on a spell for this or before this.
Yes, a minute. Yes, a minute has passed.
Okay.
Okay, if I fail this, I'm taking 1d8 psychic damage.
Oh, that's another fucking.
Oh boy!
Why is there so many sixes right now? Why is it? We're already. Why? What is happening right now?
We're in a library.
I just took 5
Oh no.
damage.
We need to get out of this library, man. What is happening right now? Or rolls?
Watch as they do that, and suddenly, you all go to look and talk to each other. No sound is coming out of your mouths.
Oh.
Willem goes, scratches his head, turns around to walk through the doors, right? And the doors, he just bumps right into them, and they do not open of their own accord. And you see as the gnome behind the counter is lifted up from below the counter by a massive squid lower body, like an octopus body, actually, that lifts him up to grab something off of one of these bookshelves. As he puts that book he just slammed into a space, pulls another down, and he sits down and he opens it up and begins to read.
Oh, I don't like this shit. I look around. Is the door to the bookstore magical?
Looking at it, no, it is not.
Is there a fire escape or something like that still in there?
Based off of your perception check earlier, you would have noted that there is a fire exit in the far back right corner of the store.
And I'm just gonna ask because I want to. I don't think there will be any thieves' cant around.
Looking around, you did not see any.
Yeah, I did not think so.
Still in sign language.
Yeah. Hanu's
Yeah.
signing to
Says-
Zale. What book did he touch?
I didn't touch anything. The thing was coming.
You're
It was coming.
you're telling me that
But
you did
right
not
now-
touch any books here.
No, it would just wave your arms in silence right now. But like, no, didn't do a thing. Was trying to run away. Some reason kept on looping.
She'll
Books
point.
kept on going.
She'll point to the door and sign. Other escape there. Looks to the group,
Alright.
closes her eyes, and just looks very
Yeah,
grumpy.
just
Why?
gets up.
Investigation.
Yeah.
29. Okay. Eliza? This isn't a bookstore.
Fuck.
Actually, you can tell that every piece of furniture in this place and every item in this actually connects to a different item in this place. Nothing in here is a freestanding item, actually. The books that get plucked off of these shelves might as well be leaves on a tree because you're in a giant living organism. It becomes apparent in a subtle, strange ways. You notice the lack of seams at the bottom of shelves and the way certain chairs connect unnaturally to the bottoms of these floors. And as you see the books that are on the shelves have text that just says, you do not belong here. You don't belong here. You don't belong here. And you kind of flip over a couple of the pages of a book that's just open, and it's open, and you can see text on it. And it was a book on like gardening tips. But the next page, empty. The next page on pretty much every book that you see around here, other than the one that is already showing, is empty.
The fuck?
And
Except the book that the Demonomicon copy that was being shown to Zale before by Tirana and Sumero, right? Because they
as
looked at
far as I
books.
can tell,
The f-
he read through a couple of bookshelves, yes.
Who's
In that bookshelf section right now.
is everyone right next to each other?
yeah, everybody's right next to each other.
Okay.
Hmm.
Guys, don't freak out, but like I don't think this is really a bookstore. This is something about this is off. And it feels like whatever we're in is alive.
Can I'll start just noticing that.
Babette's just, she was already clutching her head, and now
Flip a
she's
couple
just
of
moved into a
pages
face
next to
palm.
it after you saw her do it. You flip a couple of pages in kind. And you're all silent, so you can't speak, but you know sign language, so you're all just signing this to each other. For the few that do know it, there's a couple of you that don't. I don't think CAC knows sign language.
Yeah, was teaching sign language. She made a statement back before when we went to the first village for the ogre thing that she was teaching sign language to people. Those who took
Yeah,
her up
but
on that
that's still gonna
offer would
take-
know it,
Mhm.
but I don't know who actually took up on that offer.
Yeah,
So.
Babette would have,
Would've.
but yeah,
Mhm.
we've had a couple
So
weeks to learn it.
You
But
flip over one of the pages of one of those books. Kind of confirm the same theory that she did. Give me an investigation check. No.
Well, tonight. Wow, 6s. 13.
All right.
Lucky number 13. Or unlucky in this scenario.
Suddenly, as you flip it over, the book flutters away from you, like it's about to snap onto your hand. And I need you to give me a sleight of hand check.
Sleight of hand.
Mhm.
19.
All right. You move your hand out from underneath its bindings, and as it does, you just like hear suddenly several books around you all take off like they're fluttering, and you can hear them literally just like they literally flutter off like that.
Talos is looking at everybody just like wide-eyed, like, okay, let's leave.
What was that Don't Be a Mimic song, though?
Around the doors do not open.
Does it seem like the clerk guy is maybe the conscience of whatever we're existing in? You cut out. I didn't.
Yeah, I'd say based off of that investigation, that seems like a very reasonable assumption to make. The consciousness, the brain, or whatever monster is responsible for this illusion around you, if it is an illusion, you feel like that might be the source of it. It doesn't seem to be immediately antagonistic because it seems silenced you, which because you broke one of the rules of the library, which is making too much noise, or other rules of the library. But
That we will
they're
find
not
out.
listed anywhere.
I'm gonna walk up to him and excuse me, sir, if you wouldn't mind, could you open the door, please?
Sign this to.
Yeah.
Sound
If I can't speak, then yeah, I'll sign it and hope for the best.
looks up at you, and you hear in your mind as he smiles, unpurchased products is thievery. All products must be paid for before leaving.
Fuck you, Tirana. Or Sonera.
Yeah, Eliza's gonna look back at the
Arthur.
group and
Yeah,
who does she think stole it?
yeah. Babette would also be like, who has the thing? If she heard that, I don't know
Eliza,
if it went into everyone's head.
Arthur just like reaches behind his back, and he pulls out of his back pocket this thing, and it's like it's just a ledger of famous poker games from the last several decades.
Zelda's fucking
Drugs.
takes it out of his hand and returns it back to the clerk. Like so pissed right now.
Eliza's shaking her head and she's
You
holding.
intend to pay for this? That would be in silver.
Zelda's faced in silver. He's just like, I want to go. I want to get out of here. 10 silver. Okay.
And he will slyly sign, "Young man, we will have words about this." With a smirk on her face.
Drugs.
Yep. Yeah. I paid the 10 silver to the lady.
A receipt prints off from it, hands it over, and you see as the gnome, supported by a great squid or octopus-like lower body, is pushed up by the tentacles to a higher shelf to tuck away their copy of the receipt. And as you walk back over towards them, the doors swish open behind you guys.
Alright. And Zelda
Babette
just
smacks Arthur on the back of the head.
at this point just takes the rest of you guys and just leaves everybody
Hey.
pushing out. At this point, it's like we're going.
I was gonna pay for it. I just got caught up when we started running for our lives.
Sal gives it back to him. He doesn't say anything. As he's pulling everybody else, but he gives it back to him.
Guys, this is why I never trust libraries before. She gives Sunira a very understanding look of, no, libraries are just never good.
Yeah, I mean, half like squid, half gnome. I mean, what is that all about?
Anyways, we should be moving outside because there was an alert for the police to go to the food court. I don't know what that's about, but
Wait,
We should just go.
yeah.
what did you guys do? As we're walking out, just
I-
looking.
I
There was
think
something happening in the food court. It made us want to do something, and we walked behind a counter and shoved an employee out the way.
no. The thing is that this whole building is compromised right now, so it's going to make us do things. Right? It's like the Akuji; they force you to do stuff, just like the whole kill 'em thing. Let's
yeah.
leave. Tentacles
Yeah.
never good.
Pops his hand on the back of Cap's shoulder, and you see as the burns on his hand disappear.
Well, let's. Okay, if that's true, then we need to get out of here.
Wait, Willem did that?
Huh.
Arthur.
Arthur.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. You're right as you said the name, you cut out.
Yeah, I was like, huh? Okay.
Mhm.
Okay, guys.
I heard that weird.
Oh, I heard
weird.
something. Yeah.
Yep. Okay, let's get out of here.
So I'm guessing this thing wants self-harm because it's amused. It's like a cat playing with a mouse at this point. We are
Don't know what this
prey.
thing
We are
is.
being hunted and worn down. That is naturally hunting technique, especially for tigers, until it ambushes us. So let's
just
split
leave.
up. Split up.
Mhm.
Which direction are we going? She'll tell her group.
Are
Yeah.
we staying in the mall or are we leaving?
I think-
No, let's. This place is a little bit more too complicated and too unfamiliar for me to remember. And if that was one of the shops, that bookstore with a tentacle, whatever abomination, I'd rather go other places. Because I have no
I
idea at
got
this point.
invited to a potentially sketchy party.
Are we gonna know other places anymore?
Oh, you're right. Kind of thinks.
We'll just
Okay,
try
right.
to avoid where we've already been.
Well, let's take a few walks around the block, and we can come back to the mall afterwards. Maybe we can draw it out.
Well, we may need to leave through a place that's not the front door.
Yeah, so going this way.
All right, then we'll head this way, and we'll head to the front door. So we'll go we'll head to the front door and out the front door, since I guess the only people they saw was you guys. So we'll head this way then.
Did I get where the concert was happening again?
At the palace.
At the palace. Okay.
Where that's located at, I don't know. In the city.
One would assume it's like the actual palace, because the queen's dead.
Damn. But yeah, taking my group just from the front exit. I guess Hunter and Zarman going to different exits, just so we're not as a group together. Well, the mall cops are after one of our group members. Try to be anonymous. So, yeah. Start heading the front exit then, exit out of the mall.
Storms off, grumbling librarians with their silence and shit.
You make your way as a group, or are y'all going out separately? And if y'all are going out separately, where are you planning on meeting up? At what time? And where?
We got phones for that now.
Yeah, I mean, we might as well figure out.
I mean,
we're gonna have a meetup point when we will all gather there. It's undisclosed. We can figure that out as we give ourselves phone calls. But what will be our destination point to convene in?
You have a cell phone, and
I thought Kelly gave us more
I thought each group had one.
But each group has a cell phone.
Yeah, exactly.
So, right. I mean, we just have split up into the same groups that we already were, but leaving in different points.
Yeah, exactly. So.
Okay, but where are you planning on going? And after that.
Okay.
I mean, as people leave,
we're just planning on walking
and figure out where they are.
Here's the question: is the plan to just walk outside into random directions and then call each other and then meet up? and
No,
walk together. in
the
random
whole
directions.
thing is we have a meetup point.
Where is that though?
Yeah, so I'm discussing where do you guys
That's what
want
I'm
to be the meetup
Yeah.
point.
Right.
Which is-
I mean, we call Kelly and then figure out where they are and then go to wherever they are. So as the first person leaves, they call Kelly, they go to Kelly. Second person group leaves, they call Kelly, go to Kelly, etc., etc.
Well,
And
And
Kelly
the
doesn't.
point will be
Kelly's
Kelly.
just staying where we were originally.
Yeah,
I'm pretty
just-
sure she was
just-
staying there.
Just to
Kelly
make the
said she was
plan.
saying where it was.
Just to make the plan just similar, just simplify it. Basically, our meetup point's gonna be the garage. If either Kelly picks up or Kelly doesn't pick up, the meeting point's gonna be garage, which I would say before we separate. The meeting point's the garage. If by the time we separate, and that would be the point, we'll convene at 9 o'clock.
What time is it now?
I can tell what time it is right now. It's like it was noon when we got in the mall.
It's currently like 2, or
Two.
like 1 rather.
9
Okay.
might be a little late.
Let's do 5 o'clock
Okay.
before the sun
So,
goes down.
4 hours. Yeah. So 5 o'clock, we convene back at the garage. Zell would just explain this as he's going before you separate because you're just walking, so a little bit of time. Zell, with his group, is going to go to that one store, that one magical store that was in the commerce. I forgot. It was a long time since I've been there. The one kind of shop. So he's gonna go there.
That's like
And it
so not specific though.
I talk
I
about
can't
the
remember
place
the
that you
name.
got your glasses at, because I think that was
Exactly.
somewhere-
Yeah, the glasses place.
Okay, see, that's more specific.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
magic
what. That's why I
glasses.
couldn't remember the name. But I'm gonna go there with my group. And then whatever to your group are going specifically, like to know.
Well.
I mean, Zarman will just take a group to circle around the block until 5 and then head to the garage. So I'm in.
Okay, so you're
Right, we're just going to go on a walk.
And,
Okay.
I need you to give me, by the way, another Constitution saving throw. Need to take back for one alone and one from me.
Oh, you ate something you shouldn't have eaten. God, 29.
Alright,
Yeah,
you do not
oh my
have
God.
exhaustion.
So don't
And
eat the food.
you take 1 point of cold damage, and
Who did that? Who took that?
Okay.
Cack.
Cactus.
No.
It is 2 points of damage for Cax, and he goes down to 67.
You rolled twice there.
For you.
Oh, I took none. Half a 0. 1 is 0.
And
No.
you don't take half of it, though, because it's not actually cold damage.
Zarman doesn't have cold resist.
Just
Zarman rolled a
deal
29 on
cold.
con saves, and I passed it earlier with a lower
Oh.
number.
I guess it's like the whole.
Or, yeah, but you can't half of a 1, so it's just
No,
1.
you can. You can have a minimum of 0 damage at any point. It's possible to reduce damage to 0.
Yeah. Oh wait, that's not even right anyways. Because it's supposed to be 2d4 now that you've gone through this once already.
Just one.
So it's 3 reduced to 1, and then 2, so it still ended up being exactly the same.
2d4.
And there is...
I mean, at this point, can Zarman ask somebody what the fuck's happening to us right now?
And y'all are like shivering. They look really cold. Like their lips and stuff are discolored. Their skin is really, really pale. The color there's this bluish discoloration underneath Zarman's scales. Like they're shivering.
Can I make an arcane check to see if this is some kind of
yeah.
magical?
You could give me you give me an Arcana check.
24.
Looking at it, they do seem to be underneath some sort of magical effect. You feel like you could probably get rid of it with like a dispel magic or similar.
Kind of like the Hanun. Hanun, do you have a something to spell magic?
Okay, yeah.
Just aim at them and huddle together.
Alright, come on. And she will rub her hands together, dispel magic. I mean, I always thought to
Alright.
always have it prepared
You're
in
gonna-
Nadia, so.
Alright, you're gonna use it on Zarman.
Oh, is it
Go ahead and
Yeah,
give
Zarman,
me-
with dispel magic, you target a magical effect or a creature, so you'd have to choose a creature with dispel magic.
okay.
So you can only do one at a time with one dispel magic.
Exactly.
She also. I can't get all three of them, though. Okay, fine. She'll dispel magic on Zarman.
Start to do Libby stuff here real quick. Oh, she did not pass on that.
Oof.
No.
My only suggestion, this is kind of a little bit out of character. You might want to do it to the people that do not have con saves. Because they're getting exhaustion from this.
So okay, sure. Yeah, she doesn't have too many. She will have one after this one. She only has one more third level spell. Just give people heads up. 'Cause she did use create food and water this morning, so.
Does anybody else have dispel magic?
I don't know.
Only person who could is Lib and Cac.
Lib won't have dispel magic Bard. Maybe Cac.
I don't think he has it. I remember telling you guys this like months ago, and everybody's like, "Yeah, no, it's okay." I'm like, "Okay."
Listen, I don't got those levels yet, man.
Yeah, Zarman can't learn it until later anyway.
Bards can know dispel magic. I just don't know if Lib has it.
Right, Lib could learn it, but I doubt Lib would have wanted to.
No, Cac has
And
it.
of course, then of course, Skak. I don't know.
Fuck.
She's going to go dispel magic the person who seems to be going the worst off.
Alright. That would probably be Lib at the moment.
Okay, she'll dispel that.
Right.
Do you know how long this is gonna last, Sam?
Can this discern how long this will last?
On this, you're uncertain.
Okay.
Because it seems to be taking every
Until they
minute. We
rest.
don't know how long. so-
There has to be some type of tea, though, I think, that should counteract this. So can I think of anything that is known to help with this deep-seated cold?
If they think so, Zale, you would know based off of that they seem to think that they're cold, and as such, are cold.
Oh, so this is like a
If they were-
mental.
If they were to not think they were cold, then they would not be cold right now. If they were to put on
Oh,
winter gear, perhaps they would think that they're warm. All
and now
right,
stop. Okay.
exactly.
Okay, it sounds like. So you see like a light bulb go off in his head, and it's like, okay. Let's get something warm for you guys. And then it kind of looks to Babette. Babette, remember the thing you did before?
I've done a lot of things before.
The one where you made someone believe something through magic. Your compulsion.
I can't make them believe. I can just make them run in a direction.
Well, what?
They're mentally thinking they're cold, so they're actually making them. It's kind of like hurting themselves.
Well, I'm familiar with that concept. I would prefer
Yes.
if I could just get a jacket or maybe
So if they think they're
warm.
warm, they'll be warm.
I don't know what you want me to do about it.
Nah, just thought you had that, but I thought I had the thing that allows them to make someone believe something. But that's fine. It doesn't need to be warm.
Well,
Once you get close to a fire, you'll be fine.
Why don't you guys go to a tea shop, a coffee shop, grab something, and then go to a clothes shop afterwards? Get some more winter gear.
Only thing in this mall, I think, is the M something. I don't remember.
Coal. Coals.
Since since you're not in trouble with the mall cops, how about you go in the store back in the mall and get them some winter clothes
Sure.
while they walk around the block. So that way we're splitting up, make sure we're not together. But in a sense, it'll help them not, in a sense, freeze to death.
Okay. Well then, she will take out her winter blanket from her bag, and throw it out, and like hold it out for somebody to take. Already got one of you. 3 more of you. I'll get some coats. Warm. I'll be back.
Well, Liv's actually safe now that you did it.
Yeah, so why don't you can probably talk us some deals or talk. Oh no, she's also wanted by the cops.
Yeah, their whole group. That's what I'm
Okay,
suggesting.
yeah.
Your
So
group goes in.
all right, let's go, guys. Clothes shopping.
And just
The rest of you step out through the wintry doors into the streets. The crunching sound of footsteps going through snow. You hear sirens off in the distance. There's thick fog that makes it harder to be able to see more than 30 feet away from you. But in these snow-laden streets, people still walk across the sidewalk, making their way from, one cafe to little boutique shops, and all the while cars and automobiles just by on these streets, knocking up this swirl of snow like another thicker cloud level around your feet. And as you guys step out and the rest of you go to Cole's, Hanu, you and your group run to go grab jackets as Zarman and Kak and Willem and Liv take a circle around the building, hoping to meet up with you once they've circled back around to grab those coats before you'll split off once more and head in separate directions. But Zale, you and your group are just putting distance between you and this mall at the moment. And you walk straight across that street, and there's a of vehicles between you and Zarman's group as you see them shivering on the other side of the road and making their way around the outside of this monolithic concrete building. While meanwhile, inside, Hanu, Eliza, Babette, and Fee walk into M. Cole's, a large department store that's nothing more than just quadrants of clothes organized by age and gender, mostly predominated by winter gear, and a bunch of jewelry stands in the center. And you go to the coats, and you're walking through, like, it's an overwhelming amount of fur coats in here. I mean, just stacks and stacks of them. It's like walking through like an odd hunter's den. And there's this like odd moment again where it's just like, please don't let anything be.
song.
I don't like this song.
I love this song.
Go ahead and give me an investigation check. Actually, Babette, you can give me one. And Eliza, I'll roll one for you as you guys split to grab the two coats. And
Nope. 12.
now just like up, she's just holding them as you guys grab things for everybody.
Oh my
Right.
god!
Damn.
These rolls! These
Somehow her
rolls
nat
tonight!
one is the same as my regular investigation.
Oh,
All right.
these rolls tonight.
So as that whispering goes, and you grab a couple and you toss them back, you toss a couple back. All of a sudden, one of them wraps around each of you, and let's switch to this. As this coats Anu, you just got one coat, another one, and this is they're both going to grab, another set of coats just like to hold up and bring to the front. Those last coats that they grabbed at either end to compare instead just gets swallows, both of them, as it wraps around like it's forcing them to wear it. Right? And as that happens, we're going to take a brief break, guys.
Oh my god.
Out of
I think
character, she'll say, "That's not very Gucci of you," to the coats.
Yo, funny. I think I'm starting to understand how this thing is working right now. Basically, what you're trying to believe right now is making reality. So you believe you're cold, like you're freezing to death. Think you're freezing to
It's
death.
like Phantasmal Force in a way.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
And the whole thing and the whole thing about the round trying to mention. It's actually in just page 7 of the player's handbook, round down. When there's one and more general rule that you need to know in the onset. Whenever you divide a number in a game, you round down, even if you end up with a fraction, even if the fraction is 1/2 or greater. So half of 1 is 1/2
Yeah,
round
but-
down.
Yes, I know the